A little boy, thrown off a mountain by his own father. But that same child grows up into something so dangerous, even an entire underworld full of gangsters can't stop him. Welcome to RAFSAT Court, where every story begins with pain and ends in blood, revenge, and pure madness. And trust me, the final scene of this video is gonna hit you hard. For the past 8 years, this Kung Fu master has been wearing 50-pound iron shoes on his feet. He fights every enemy while carrying that weight, so just imagine what happens when he finally takes them off. That's where today's story begins. We meet a Kung Fu master named Wulin. He comes from an ancient Chinese clan known for having legs as strong as steel. This is his first time stepping into a major city. Suddenly, a group of thugs comes running through the street and crashes into a kid eating ice cream. Wulin takes off after them to help. The gang had actually come to kill a man, but Wulin stops them for one simple reason. The kid deserved his ice cream money back. The second Wulin steps into the city, people are stunned by both his strength and his calm presence. As soon as the thugs attack him, Wulin doesn't back down. He takes them on alone, and as a highly skilled Kung Fu fighter, he wipes the floor with every single one of them. In the end, he wins the fight and unknowingly saves the life of a wealthy man named Jay Shan. With every strike, Wulin proves the lessons his master taught him and the principles he lives by. The man offers him money afterward, but for Wulin, honor and humanity mean far more than wealth ever could. But Wulin turns the money down. Instead, he goes back to the little boy and buys him a brand new ice cream. And then, several black SUVs suddenly surround him from every side. Their leader, Zhang Li, steps out and immediately hugs Wulin. He's also a Kung Fu fighter, but now he runs a private security company. Wulin and Zhang Li trained under the same master when they were kids. They grew up together until Zhang Li eventually moved to the city. Old memories suddenly bring the two friends face to face again after years apart. But now, Zhang Li has been completely consumed by money and luxury, forgetting everything their master once taught them. Then the truth comes out. Zhang Li never willingly left the village. During training one day, he made a serious mistake and their master expelled him. Wulin quietly shows him their master's ashes and reveals that the old man has passed away. The second Zhang Li hears it, he completely breaks down in tears. The next day, the two of them head to Zhang Li's company headquarters. During security screening, Wulin is asked to remove his shoes because they're made of solid iron, but Zhang Li already knows the story behind those shoes, so he lets him through. Inside, Jay Shan arrives at the company looking to hire a bodyguard for his daughter, and without realizing it yet, Wulin is about to walk into the biggest test of his life. Zhang Li shows off the strength of his security team, hoping to impress Jay Shan, but Jay Shan's attention stays locked on Wulin. Eventually, Wulin agrees to the job because his master always taught him one thing: sacrifice everything to protect the weak. The next morning, Wulin finally meets Jay Shan's spoiled daughter, Feifei, and right away, their first meeting makes it clear just how difficult this is going to be. Feifei mistakes him for a thief and gets so startled that she drops her towel. When she realizes he's actually her bodyguard, she immediately tries to pay him to leave her alone, but Wulin refuses without hesitation. His principles aren't something money can buy. She even tries scaring him with a fake gun, but Wulin barely reacts. Later, the two head to the mall, where Wulin silently follows her everywhere she goes. No matter how arrogant or difficult she acts, he refuses to abandon his responsibility. Then Feifei notices a group of punks harassing a young woman. She marches right over and slaps their leader across the face, but that girl suddenly switches sides and lies to the gang. Why would I slap you for no reason? That guy over there told me to do it. And just like that, one small misunderstanding is about to turn into a massive problem. The punks are just about to gang up on Wulin and beat him down when he suddenly shrugs and says, "I don't even know this girl. Who is she?" The second he says that, the thugs go right back after Feifei. Meanwhile, Wulin just stands there smiling, watching the whole cat and mouse chase play out. After enjoying the chaos for a little while, he finally steps in, helps Feifei, and drives the gang off. Wulin always stays calm, no matter what's happening around him, and that patience is exactly what makes him different from everyone else. That night, Wulin has a nightmare. He sees his father throwing him off a cliff, but the terrifying part is, it really happened. When Wulin was only 7 years old, his own father tried to kill him. To this day, Wulin still doesn't know why. The only thing his father said was, "Success requires sacrifice." That painful memory still lives deep inside him, like an open wound that never fully healed. Then we meet a gangster named Mr. Fu. He used to be Jay Shan's boss, but now he wants him dead because Jay Shan has evidence of all his dirty crimes. Suddenly, one of Fu's men tells him that his death is coming soon. The second Fu hears that, he snaps and shoots the guy without hesitation. If the man could really see the future, he probably would have kept his mouth shut. Fu's rage and the fear he puts into people make one thing painfully clear: this is a man willing to go as far as necessary. The next day, Wulin and Feifei head to a restaurant. Feifei sits there eating while Wulin stands nearby, quietly watching everyone around them, and then, out of nowhere, he grabs one of the waitresses. According to Wulin, she's about to kill Feifei. Furious, Feifei storms off to the restroom, but Wulin forcefully pulls her back out. His sharp instincts pick up danger long before anyone else notices it, whether people believe him or not. On the way home, the two start arguing again. Some random guys nearby think Wulin is harassing her for no reason, so they rush over to save Feifei. Taking advantage of the distraction, she runs off. But then, the same waitress kidnaps her. Wulin's suspicion was right all along. He immediately chases after the vehicle and leaps off a bridge straight onto the roof of the car. For a second, he loses his balance and crashes to the ground, but the next time, he jumps directly onto the vehicle from the front. Without backing down for even a second, Woolen fights off the masked attackers and rescues Feifei, bringing her home safely. Even with his own life on the line, he never once fails to protect her. Once they get back, Feifei asks him, "How did you know that waitress was trying to kidnap me?" Woolen calmly explains that a person can lie with words, but their body language always reveals their true intentions. And for the first time, Feifei starts realizing that Woolen isn't just strong, he's incredibly intelligent too. Feifei finally opens up and admits that she's had bodyguards around her ever since she was a little kid. She's never been allowed to live freely or make her own choices. That's why she grew to hate bodyguards so much, but Woolen feels different to her. For the first time in her life, she starts feeling trust and comfort around someone meant to protect her. Later that night, before going to sleep, Feifei looks at an old family photo and quietly breaks down crying as she remembers her mother. At the same time, Mr. Fu sends one of his men to meet Zhang Li. Fu wants Zhang Li's help taking Jie Shan out for good. Deep down, Zhang Li knows it feels wrong, but he still agrees. Years ago, when Zhang Li first arrived in the city with nothing, Mr. Fu was the one who fed him and helped him start his business. Now Zhang Li feels trapped beneath the weight of those favors. He's being torn apart between loyalty and knowing what's right. The next day, Zhang Li meets with Woolen and starts bragging about his power and connections. He claims he knows all the city's most influential people and can make anything happen whenever he wants. But Woolen already understands something Zhang Li has forgotten. Real power doesn't come from money or status. It comes from a person's character. Zhang Li tells Woolen that he needs to stop protecting Jie Shan's daughter, Feifei, but Woolen refuses without hesitation. For the first time in their lives, the two brothers are standing on opposite sides. Zhang Li admits he's still angry because their master gave the special iron shoes to Woolen instead of him. Deep down, their master always believed Woolen was the true Kung Fu warrior. Years of buried resentment are finally tearing the bond between them apart. Now Zhang Li wants a fair fight once and for all, to finally prove which one of them is stronger. And just like that, the two launch into an intense hand-to-hand fight. Neither one can overpower the other because they're both equally skilled. But Zhang Li has always mastered one special technique. With a single devastating punch, he sends Woolen crashing into a wall before dropping hard to the floor. In the end, Zhang Li coldly tells him they are no longer brothers and walks away. This fight was never just about strength, it was about broken trust and years of pain neither of them ever let go of. Knowing Feifei's life is still in danger, Woolen takes her to a hidden safe house. The two spend several days training together in Kung Fu. During that time, Woolen finally reveals the truth. Each one of his iron shoes weighs 50 pounds. And now, the biggest test of his strength and patience is getting closer than ever. Woolen explains that he's worn those iron shoes for the past 8 years to make himself stronger. The day he finally takes them off, nobody will be able to match his power. Then one day, Zhang Li's men discover where Woolen and Feifei have been hiding. But Zhang Li already knows ordinary fires wouldn't last even a second against Woolen. So he gives his men heavy steel restraints designed to slow him down. Because Woolen's strength doesn't just come from his legs, it comes from an unbreakable will. That night, the gang quietly launches an attack. Woolen and Feifei escape into the woods while Woolen keeps fighting off the attackers in the darkness. But during the chaos, two of the thugs manage to grab Feifei and drag her away. Woolen immediately chases after them but accidentally steps into the restraints. Now chains are wrapped around his legs on top of the iron shoes. Even then, he refuses to give up and brutally tears through the gang anyway. No matter how bad things get, Woolen's speed and courage continue overwhelming every enemy in front of him. But eventually, the attackers manage to tie both of his legs together and slam him into a wall. After that, one of the men drags him across the ground and throws him into a field. And for the first time, it truly feels like Woolen's story might be over for good. Right in front of Zhang Li's eyes, his brother appears to be taking his final breaths. But instead of showing sadness, he buries it beneath anger. He steps forward and drives a brutal punch straight into Woolen's chest. After that, his men bury Woolen and leave. Heavy rain pours down through the night, turning the entire area into thick mud. Then suddenly, Woolen slowly crawls back out of the grave. The truth is, his heart is located on the right side of his chest. That's why Zhang Li's punch didn't kill him. Fate has given Woolen one more chance to finish the fight he never got to complete. Woolen finally returns home, and for the first time in 8 years, he removes the iron shoes. Now he has become something far more dangerous, a complete warrior. After changing his appearance and putting on a suit, he heads straight to Zhang Li's office. Hundreds of men are waiting there, ready to attack him. But with 50 pounds finally gone from his body, Woolen's speed has become almost impossible to track. The second those shoes come off, Woolen's true power is finally unleashed in front of everyone. Using almost nothing but his legs, he tears through countless attackers, and in the end, he wins. Now his enemies fully understand one thing: stopping Woolen is nearly impossible. Woolen finally enters a room where Mr. Fu, Zhang Li, Feifei, and Jie Shan are all waiting. Fu looks at him and says, "Kid, aren't you scared of dying?" Woolen calmly replies, "Success requires sacrifice." The second Fu hears those words, the color drains from his face, because those were the exact same words he once said before trying to kill his own son. A truth buried for years is finally rising to the surface, and the entire atmosphere instantly changes. Years earlier, Fu and Jie Shan used to work together, but one day, Fu betrayed him and turned him over to the police. Because of that betrayal, Jie Shan's wife ended up dying. Ever since then, Jie Shan has been waiting for the chance to get revenge. Fu truly loved his son Woolen, but one day, he watched the boy scare off a wild animal just by staring at it. After that, a fortune teller warned Fu that his own son would someday become the reason for his death, and that fear is exactly exactly why Fu tried to kill him. Fear and greed made Fu so blind that he destroyed the very thing he loved most. Back then, Rulin was only a child, but now, seeing his son standing alive right in front of him, Fu suddenly starts laughing because the fortune teller's prediction actually came true. The same son he tried so desperately to escape from is now standing directly in front of him. Fu suddenly opens fire on Rulin, but Zhang Li steps in front of the bullet. He's finally tired of being nothing more than Fu's puppet. Then Zhang Li says he wants to face Wulin alone and test his new power for himself. Instantly, an intense fight breaks out between the two brothers, but this time, Zhang Li arrives wearing a unique pair of combat gloves. At last, Zhang Li is trying to fix his mistakes and prove who he truly is. Little by little, Wulin's full strength begins revealing itself. Just as Zhang Li's about to lose, Fu suddenly shoots him. While taking his final breaths, Zhang Li tells Wulin that he has to stay alive and take their master's place, so the iron leg kung fu style never disappears from the world. Now only Wulin and Fu remain. As death closes in around him, Fu desperately tries making peace with his son, but it's already too late. Even in his final moments, Zhang Li's only concern is protecting his brother and preserving their master's legacy. Wulin is seconds away from finishing Fu for good, but suddenly, he stops. His master once taught him to never strike an unarmed man. Wulin refuses to sink that low. Instead, he leaves Fu alive and walks away. In the end, he scatters Zhang Li's ashes from the top of a mountain and says one final goodbye to his brother and his friend. And in that final moment, Wulin proves what a true warrior really is. Someone who carries not only strength but humanity too. If a man can stand against his own father and fight the entire world for what's right, then just imagine what real strength actually looks like. And for more intense, mind-blowing movie stories like this, subscribe to RAFSAT Cord right now, because the stories here don't just entertain you, they stay with you long after they're over.